My name is Denisha McDonald. I am the founder of Our Village Initiative. We are a real estate social impact platform and consulting firm. And I started in real estate over 8 years ago, and it was from my passion for helping my community and wanting to increase the rate of homeownership in communities of color. Working with developers on affordable homeownership opportunities, I focus on homeownership and not rentals because I do believe that we should all own our own space in our homes. I am a homeowner, resident of Hyde Park, and absolutely love it. So, if you are interested in renting an affordable unit, first we'll say for any affordable, so deed restricted or rent restricted property, it's usually income based. So, you have to earn at or below a certain area median income, or we'll say a salary. So, let's say the number is 88,000. You need to make at or below 88,000 to qualify to either purchase or rent in that building or that house. And if you make 88,900, you're over. You don't qualify. It's very strict on who has this opportunity. And it's designed so that people who normally would be priced out of the market, they create pretty much a subset where it's almost exclusive to them so that they have an opportunity to stay in the neighborhood and stay in their community. So it is income based. If you're renting, you qualify, you apply. It's usually always a lottery for the first phase of a project. And then once you take occupancy, every year they'll do an income certification to make sure that your income still meets those guidelines. And if you are over income, usually they give you until the end of your lease before you turn into what's called market rate rent. So whatever would be market rate for that building is what you would transition into if your income has increased beyond the limits that they've set forth. I'll say the good and the bad for that is as a renter, you get in at an affordable price. But as you earn more income, now you could be priced out of your affordable rental unit. If you're a homeowner, on the other hand, it's very beneficial because the goal is to get in when your income is relatively low. And then once you become a homeowner, you could win the lotto the next day and have $10 million and it's your house, you own it. So the incentive is to try to purchase a home when you're within that income bracket so that now you have the relief of the stress of housing costs so that you can go after your dreams and earn more income and do all the other things that you want to do. To qualify, if you want to purchase a home, lenders are looking for at least, especially since after the pandemic, I would say you want to have at least a 680 credit score. You want to make sure you've been working consistently for the past 2 years, and you want to make sure you have a decent amount of savings. The city of Boston has the One Plus program. They've partnered with MHP, and now they have up to $50,000 set aside for Boston residents so that they can help you purchase a home. And that goes towards helping you with your down payment and closing costs, in addition to buying down your interest rate. Let's say interest rates right now are 3%, your interest rate might be 2.5 or 2% for being part of this program. So the city has done a great job of trying to make homeownership affordable for residents. It's just the market has been crazy in the process of all of that. So the numbers keep going up, but we're still able to help people become homeowners.
That's great, Denisha. Can you also talk about, as a homeowner yourself, what happens when you qualify, do the paperwork, you've purchased your home. Now, let's say, I don't know, 20 years later, 10 years later, you want to sell.
Mhm.
How does that look different than if you bought a home at market rate?
So let's say you purchase your home at market rate at $200,000, and now you're ready to sell and it's worth $800,000. You get to sell your house at $800,000. The difference in between there is your profit. You take that after you pay taxes and everything else. That's your take home. For an affordable, you don't get the same appreciation. It depends on the program, if it's BPDA or DND. I think it's about 3% appreciation annually. That's compound, so it adds up over time. That's as much as you get. So even if your neighborhood went from a $500,000 neighborhood to $1 million neighborhood, you're only going to get that 3% appreciation every year. And I think that bothers a lot of people because they see it as the city's taking money out of my pocket, which I understand. But if we look at it as without the city's help, with an affordable unit specifically, then you wouldn't have been able to even purchase the home because it actually cost, let's say you bought it at, and I'll use the single families, you bought it at 353, but your neighborhood is actually already at 500,000. The city gave you that difference. So that's what, $150,000. They put that into the property so that you could be able to buy because you didn't have the funds to do that on your own. So now when it's time for you to sell, the goal is that you pay it forward. You're going to now sell, you get some equity, but they need to keep some of that in there for the next buyer so that they can also afford. Because if you sell at market rate, that's it. We just lost that affordable housing stock, period, for the city. So I think that's important for people to understand, or a different way to think about it. Yes, you're not getting the same sales price as your neighbor, but you received $150,000 upfront when you purchased, and now they're allowing you some equity in the end. And that's just for affordable home ownership if you're buying an affordable unit. If you utilize the down payment assistance, that doesn't apply to you. So if you utilize down payment assistance to buy a market rate property, all the city wants is their money back. So if they invested 30,000 into your down payment and closing costs, that's all they want back when you sell. You keep the rest of the money. It's only for the affordable deed restricted units that you have that kind of equity cap.
Thanks so much for your time, Denisha. We'll catch you on the next one.